Hi, I'm Kat Tillinghast with West Coast Yoga and Sports Therapy. We're located in Orange County, California. I'm a yoga therapist, so I not only teach active and exercise type of yoga, but yoga therapy deals with chronic conditions, back pain, imbalances such as depression and anxiety, and also sleep disorders. I work with individuals, I work with small groups, and I come on site to your corporations in Orange County, California to work with you. So today, we're going to be working on and focusing on some breathing techniques and also some movements and gestures that will help to create a more sound sleep. Many of us suffer from lack of sleep or not very good quality of sleep. So today I hope that some of the poses that we do and some of the movements and gestures and breathing techniques that we do will help you to feel calm and restorative and balanced before you go into the area where you sleep, go into the place where you hold the mood for sleep, and that when you wake up you feel restored, relaxed, rejuvenated. So when I'm coming into the space where I'm going to begin relaxation, I start with the breath. Pranayama is just stretching the breath. I also like mudras, which are hand gestures. Mudras can be used along with pranayama in order to direct the prana in various ways, both internally and externally. So this sort of shifts the energy around you. I'm placing my hand over my heart, and this is known as Shakti Mudra, tip of index finger and little finger together. And the other fingers wrap over the thumbs in the palms. Very relaxing. Important to remember that we place the hands over the heart and continue to take long, slow, full, deep breaths. So the first pose is just going to be a restorative backbend that I might do at the end of the day or before a nap. I'm going to use a bolster, and most of the time I like a blanket over my bolster. Just makes it feel softer, and I bring my low back up against the bolster and then just lengthen my whole back over the bolster. Normally at the end of the day, we wouldn't focus too much on back bends, but this is very relaxing and restorative and helps to induce relaxation, sleep. Important to note that you can really do anything you want to that's most comfortable with your legs. You can have something underneath your knees to support them, or you can perform a yoga pose like this one, Baddha Konasana, with the feet together and the knees open. I'm continuing my full, slow, smooth, deep nostril breaths. And I'm coming back into my mudra. You always want to remember to place Shakti Mudra over the heart. What we do with our bodies, what we do with our breath, what we do with gestures. Everything is sacred and everything has meaning. So I might decide to change the way that I'm sitting with my legs. I want to make sure that I'm comfortable. And then when I'm ready to come out of the pose after about 5 minutes or so, I'm going to roll to my right side. It's pretty important that when we're lying on our side, especially in the evening time, that we lie on the right side. So I'm just going to slowly come out of that pose coming from my right side, which is sleep inducing. And just start a couple of stretches. And again, I'm just trying to take the tension out of my spine by doing a little bit of slow movement and breath. So I'm going to do some cat-cows, which is going to stretch those paraspinal muscles, low back muscles, upper back muscles. I'm just inhaling with a flat back. I'm exhaling, rounding my spine. I'm going to see if I can bring my chin all the way to my chest. And I might do 3 sets. I might do 6 sets. And then I just like to let the pose sink into my body and let that energetically settle in before I move on to the next pose. Forward bends are very relaxing, calming to the nervous system. So I'm just inhaling. And then as I exhale, I'm just going to come into a standing forward bend. My fingertips are going to touch the floor, and I don't have to have straight legs. I can have bent knees. It's actually better sometimes to bend your knees. It takes the pressure off of your low back and your hamstrings. Once I've come into a forward bend here, I might drop my head and shift the weight forward toward my toes, so I feel the stretch more in my back than my legs. And I might hold that for 3 cycles of breath or 6 cycles of breath. And here's an option, a modification. I might use a bolster to support my hands if it feels too far for me to come to the floor. So I like to make my yoga poses accessible. And actually for myself, I perform them differently on different days. Whatever feels like it suits my body best. You might even want to use a chair to support your hands. The idea is to just get the spinal stretch, to release the pressure from the spine. And again, we'd hold that for 3 or 6 or 9 cycles of breath. And then we'll move on to the next pose. And I want to introduce you to oil. This is known as Abhyanga practice. I like to use a little bit of oil, and sometimes I use a little bit of oil mixed with water, maybe a lavender essential oil. Just spray the room, breathe it in. Creates a nice atmosphere of relaxation. All of this designed to relax you and promote sleep. My oil I can put just at the bottoms of my feet, maybe perhaps organic sesame oil, or perhaps all over around my head, my shoulders. And then I'll move into the next pose by coming up against the wall and bending my knees, placing my feet on the wall, and then lifting my hips up. This is a supported version of shoulder stand. Shoulder stand is very relaxing, very cleansing, detoxifying, and also relaxing. I might use a blanket under my shoulders to help support my neck, and I'll stay there for perhaps as long as 5 minutes as I can before I come out of that pose. It's a very easy way to come in to shoulder stand, and it's always nice to feel supported by blankets so that maybe you're not putting too much weight on the neck. There are a lot of different ways to perform these poses. And when we're upside down, we're naturally cleansing the body, detoxing, helping to eliminate waste and toxins, massaging internal organs, balancing the endocrine system. And remember, especially important in inversions that we focus on the breath. So I would do halasana, the legs behind the head, plow pose, to come out of shoulder stand. With my feet supported, I could use something underneath my feet, perhaps that bolster. My arms down with my palms facing down. And if I can hold this pose, this is going to be extra relaxing for me. Maybe I'll bend the knees alongside my ears. Not important that we bring the knees alongside the ears, but different variations, different modifications for all of us. I might hold this for 2 to 5 minutes. Again, balancing the endocrine system, my hormones. Those balanced hormones are what help us sleep. And then I'm going to rest on my right side. It's very important that we rest on our right side and even begin sleep on our right side. It's going to stimulate the right brain by way of the left nostril so that we can come into our sleep brain, which is our right brain. And again, I might use my oils. Just breathe in the nice, relaxing, calming effect of the oil. And again, I might decide to do my Abhyanga practice with my oil on the bottoms of my feet, and only the bottoms of my feet, or perhaps I'll put some oil on my chest or my shoulders. A nice organic oil soaks into the skin, helps to balance and relax the nervous system. Breathing in the good scent of the natural oil. And I'm going to come to a comfortable cross-legged position. Perhaps I'll cross the opposite leg in front that I normally do. And I might take a Shavasana and rest before I come into a meditation here. Or I might just go directly to meditation. And you notice that I'm coming back into the mudra. Starting the meditation, sitting up tall with a bolster so my hips are higher than my knees. My back is supported against the wall. Practicing Shakti Mudra and long exhales, so longana. Perhaps my exhale will be twice as long as my inhale to create balance, calm, relaxed thinking. Letting go of the stress of the day, just focusing on the breath, not worrying about the thoughts that come in and the thoughts that go out. I am not my thoughts. Learning just to be still, just to be quiet. And then when I'm ready, I just bring my hands to my heart in a mudra that is thankful and thanking in gratitude. And I thank all of you. Namaste.